Hello, hi, welcome back to Sunday, and a happy Sunday it is as well, isn't it? We won away from home. We're going up. We're all back on. We're all back on the going up. We're getting the playoffs. Maybe we're not. Let's have a look at the. Let's just have a look at the comments. Let's see. We got Stephen Jones is here. Let's get into it. Just froze it for a moment. Yeah. Steve Jones says, "Getting Lee. It was good to see Jordan Rhodes back out there. Now we need to focus on Saturday. It's a big game. Like Dembele was great. I think Coulson played great as well. He could have scored too. He was actually my man of the match, Coulson. I thought he was amazing yesterday. I thought that was the best we've seen of him and shows what a talent he's got. I have actually been in, well, his dad's been in touch with me. His dad got in touch with me before he played a game before he played a game, saying he knew he was coming and he was telling me all about him. And, he's been a bit unlucky at places where he's got himself in, then managers have been sacked and the other manager hasn't fancied him. So, but he told me he's a really good player and I think he really is. W&G fan is here. Hello. Steve also says, I asked the question, can I phone in? Well, you can if you read the little thing that's going along there on the bottom. Look, can you see it there? Look. If you want to call into the show, you need to email me at that number, and you need a phone. We need to test you out. You can call in. You just need to have some headphones or earphones, whatever, earbuds with your phone. You mightn't be able to do it just actually in the ear, but you need to email me, and then I can test out. We can do a little test. There's no phone-ins to a phone because people keep messing around with my phone. So my phone is now turned off. So for all those people that have like to play the silly game of phoning me in during the show, you can't anymore. You can only phone in if you have a link from me and you need to send me an email, and then we'll test it out, and I can check you're a genuine fan or whatever. You're not going to mess about, and those people can phone in with pleasure. But you need to do that. If you want to call into the show, you need to email me. It's been running along there at the bottom. I told you. You can do that. Right, here we go. Coolio Guy plays. Hello, Coolio. I like that name. We need to play like we did yesterday all the time. Otherwise, we have no chance for the playoffs. Indeed, we haven't. If we don't, in fact, I'd actually, I'll ask you what you saw if you watched it. I actually think we need to play even better than we did yesterday. Really, I thought at times, first half, I was starting to get a bit frustrated with it all, thinking, "Oh, it just sounds like the same thing again." But then that little genius Dembele comes up with a goal before half time, and that obviously changes it. Goals change games, and of course, the goal before half time, Blackpool seemed a lot better in the second half. Bit of a scary patch. It was getting a bit nervy as they were trying to get an equaliser, but the second goal killed them off, which always pleases me. Have we seen that we're 4 points off seventh place? Yeah, we're 4 points off sixth, aren't we? Not seventh. I think we're 4 points off the player, but they have got a couple of games in hand on us, so it's not as kind of as clear cut as that at the moment. But there's still quite a long way to go. And I was talking to my son actually today, and I was saying that in all the years that Blackpool have got up in the playoffs, whatever, you've never really seen it come in. The fans have always been moaning on the message boards, and there's obviously pre-message board time they didn't, but you never really thought Blackpool were going to do it until the end. It's always the end where we suddenly do it, and a lot of people write us off and don't think we can do it, and we have this habit of just getting it all together towards the end. And I think Jordan Rhodes could be that factor at the moment. The fact that he's back is going to give everybody a lift, but Saturday is really, really important, and we need to, we need to get this win on Saturday if we can. The trouble is we've already beaten them, so to get 6 points off top of the league will be a pretty tough task, I think. Coolio Guy plays says it's a miracle. It does feel a miracle. I mean, after Leyton Orient. And not having a single shot on target, and Crit sticking to his guns with this 5 at the back thing, setting up again, I thought, oh God, here we go. But hey, Eugene McGee is here. Hello, Eugene. He says, remember to smash the like button now, indeed. Is there any info on a WIN Away tickets? Not that I know of as of yet. Call the Seasider is here. Hello, Cole. He says, I think Byers, Coulson, and with a fit Dembele and Rhodes will make the playoffs. Well, it does give you that little bit of hope, but the trouble is they keep giving us this hope, and then, of course, they smash that hope, don't they, to smithereens by playing absolutely woeful in the next game. So I don't know. But, it's like the title to the thumbnail said. We've just won 3 out of the last 4. And, really, we should have won 4 out of 4 for me. I just didn't think we turned up at Leyton Orient. We didn't play well at all at Leyton Orient. But, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get 4 out of 4. But, 3 out of 4, it's starting to happen, isn't it? Stephen Roberts says we won't get the playoffs. There's too much to catch up on. Yeah, but there's still a long way to go. It may seem a lot, but you never know. You never know with Blackpool. Arthur is here. Hello, Arthur. Arthur Bushby. What's happened to Jordan Rhodes? Always did him first goal. Well, he fractured a couple of his ribs just over a month ago now, about 6 weeks ago, I think, in one of the games. Somebody landed on him and cracked a couple of ribs. So he's been out with this rib injury, and this was his first game back. So that's what's happened to Jordan Rhodes. Jim McGeever says yes. The next game is against Portsmouth, and it's a tough one, isn't it? It's at home. We've already beaten them. The thing that frustrates me with Blackpool is that the win doesn't seem to give us the confidence. Like the win that we had against Bolton, you would have thought that'd give us the confidence against Leyton Orient. It doesn't always give us the confidence. You think, well, they've won 1 away from home. Can they beat Portsmouth? They must be up. Arthur Bushby says 2-2. Could be. Well, they have. Yeah, they've certainly let us down for automatic. And I think if we'd have just, picked up more points away on the road, which, especially some of these lesser teams like Burn Albion, we should have never lost there, and Port Vale, and, these teams, Stevenage was frustrating, Cambridge frustrating. I mean, all these points we've just thrown away, and, we could be right up there, really, in games that we shouldn't have lost. But you do, every team does. Every team loses against, teams you wouldn't think you would. It is against top of the table. It is indeed W&G. It is against Portsmouth. And as I say, we've already beaten them away from home. So we'd have to get it. We'd have to beat them home and away, get 6 points off top of the league, which is going to be really tough. Well, I don't even think it's an option, Stephen. It's a dream, really. Next year, I've got to try to keep Dembele. I'd lose Lavery and Beasley for fresh, hungry strikers. Try to keep Rhodes. I get a feeling that I think Jordan Rhodes may well stay, and I think they may. Well, I'm hoping there'll be like a coaching role for him to go into with strikers, because he's certainly got a lot to teach strikers. He'd be a great asset to the backroom staff eventually. And yeah, I really like him. He's certainly not. He's not over yet. His career, there could be another 2 or 3 years in him yet if he stays fit. So yeah, he's very happy here. So he's out of contract with Huddersfield, so we can pick him up on a free, and I think he may go for it. I'm praying he goes for it. Dembele, I don't think they're going to let him go, to be honest. I get the feeling he might get loaned out again, but he may be loaned out to the Championship, or something higher, really. I think he'd be too much. I don't think we'll be able to afford him, but we just got to enjoy him. I've got him here this year. He is a special talent, isn't he? Colin the Seasider says, I think we would have taken 3 out of 4 wins before this run. I think we absolutely would. 9 points out of 12. I don't think people on A View from the Tower, were reckoning we would get that. So yeah, no, we've done really, really well. And I know this some fans, they seem to think there's lots of them. I don't know if there is lots of them, but I don't know how many there are. But this vocal lot that, were threatening to boycott games because they didn't like the way he was playing, all this garbage. I mean, why would you boycott just because you got a bigger backbone than that, really? I was going to say something else, but a bigger backbone than that. Being a football fan, I think the problem with a lot of the young ones, obviously, it's not a problem being young. It's great being young, but when you haven't been through the years and years and the decades of what us older fans have been through the 80s and then and the 90s, and just awful. And I think a lot of new fans have come since the club came back. A lot of those were kids, missed 5 years. They've come and they've seen success. First year, we get promoted into the championship, and then we do well in the championship, and they all think that's the norm, and it isn't. It's not the norm in Blackpool. It's normally like this. This is how it normally is. It's always, Jane always says, Billy Eyre was the same. He could win at home, but could never win away. We loved him, but his record away from home was terrible. And it's kind of his Blackpool. They're always, they've always been after the Lord's Mayor show. They always put on a good performance, often lose. It's just kind of, I'm just used to it. It doesn't get me as riled as it does people who just, haven't experienced it yet. But this isn't just like Blackpool. This is like when you talk to fans of any lower league club, they all suffer this same sort of frustrations that we get. But I do believe that Critch is a good manager, and I just wish we kind of get off his back and let him just get on with the job. It doesn't help. It doesn't help slagging players off. It doesn't help slagging the manager off. It doesn't help slagging Simon Sadd off. It doesn't help the cause. You've got, as fans, you've got to be there. Our job, we have one job as fans, as Blackpool fans, for me, and that is to turn up and go to the games and to give everything you've got to cheer them on. That's your job. You are the 12th man, and that's what you've got to do. And if Blackpool are going to get into the playoffs, it's got to be us. You've got to feel like you've cheered them into the playoffs, and you can't be slagging players off and slagging the manager off and giving him abuse. You've got to be behind the team. If we want them to get in the playoffs, we've got to do our bit. As simple as that. I've seen it so many times. I've seen Blackpool cheer teams on, to do special things, and they need that. They don't need. And I read as well in the View from the Tower that we're singing that stupid song that I hate, which is the "How Shit Must You Be" we're winning away. And that is just so degrading to ourselves for me. That degrades us, you know what I mean? I think so. I just don't think it's good to sing those sort of songs. I think it deflates the team, and I think, you've just got to cheer them on and just get those stupid songs like that out of the, I don't know why we sing it. I hate it. So Steve thinks he's managed it. Well, you sent me an email. I can't deal with it this time, but next time I'll go through something with you in the week or something. We'll test it out, and then you can see how the link works. And then on the day, I've got to send you a different link because it'll be a different stream. But yeah, we'll do it next time. Right. Let's just. I think we're taking, yeah, 3. Done that one. Stephen, you've managed it. Okay, brilliant. Stephen Roberts says, I agree, Lee. We lost points at teams that if you get promoted, you have to beat. Silly losses is the story of this season. It is silly losses. You're never going to go a whole season without, no team ever goes a full season winning every game. Normally you try and win your home games, draw your away games. That's a kind of, a good yardstick, isn't it? We've done our best with away. With our home form, it's been fantastic, but the away form has just been so disappointing. We've dropped really silly points, and we could easily, couldn't we, have another 3 wins away from home? Just being conservative, we could have had 3 more. So that'd have us 9 points. We'd be in the, we'd be in the playoffs. We even, still with a chance of automatic if we'd have just won 3 of those silly away games. And we could have won maybe 4 or 5 of them, really, if we'd have applied ourselves properly and played the way we do at home. Right. Julio guy plays. Morgan Rogers from last season was on the pitch for Aston Villa. Yeah, he was a good player, wasn't he? You would like to keep him, but you just can't keep them. Ian Barron is here. I'll see you in the chat there. Hello, Ian. A very good afternoon, everyone watching. Hope you are well and having a great weekend. Another 3.1 win for the mighty Darlow. 3-1 win yesterday for the mighty Darlow. 3 wins on the bounce. The great escape is on. Well, good luck to you, Ian. I hope you do. W&G fan says, just been looking at the future fixers. The last 3 are the future fixers, and the last 3 are jokes. I can't see them at the moment because I've turned my phone off. So Well, yes, this is the question. Yeah, if he's that good of a manager, then why has he done nothing wherever else he's been? Well, where else has he been? It's like he's not really been any. He's left us and just been in to a couple of places. One he went with Steven Gerrard as a number 2. So was that his fault? Or was it Gerrard's fault? I don't know. Is it really? I mean, he obviously had to, go with Gerrard because he was part of Gerrard's team. But was that Critchley's fault or Gerrard's fault? I don't know. And QPR were just they were just a train wreck of a club at the time when he went in. He didn't help them. It was just a bad move for him. But this is really the only place he's only been those 3 places anyway. And with Liverpool Academy, he was absolutely loved. So he's made that step up from academy to manager. Maybe, he isn't the most experienced manager, and he'll make mistakes, but I actually think he's a decent manager. He frustrates me a lot. I've already said it. He does frustrate me where he can. Yeah, but in the Leyton Orient game, and I've already mentioned it on the stream I did on Thursday, I cannot understand how he can be there as a manager and see that we've not created anything at all. We've not had a shot on goal all the first half. And he doesn't think, I've just got to change. This isn't working. And he continued, didn't he? He took Gabriel off at half time, just replaced him like for like. So still sticking to the same system. And then, of course, we got the injury. And then brought... I didn't get this all. Why he brought Matty Virtue on as a box-to-box midfielder and shoehorned him into a right back position when it wasn't working. That was the most frustrating thing for me on that night. I'm thinking, why? Why would you just... Why not just change it? Just go forward at the back and do something else and put Virtue and just try something different, because it wasn't working. I couldn't understand why he shoehorned something into. I didn't. It just didn't make sense. Yes, none of us really want to imagine being a Darlington fan, Ian. We have enough problems of our own. I know you want to tell us all about the problems of Darlington, but we haven't got the problems of Darlington, but we have our own problems, and everybody's got problems. And Darlingtons don't look good, I've got to admit, but you can't change your stripes, can you? So you're a Darlington fan. We do have a bit of empathy for everything that's gone wrong for you, and it can. Football, it really can. Who knows? We could be the next Darlington. You never know. I think people just want to moan. Only 3 go up. It's not a God-given right for us or any other team. No, it isn't. I agree with you. And people do like a good moan. I like a good moan sometimes. But yeah, people do like a good moan. And I don't know, it gets frustrating. You do get frustrated. Football, sometimes I wish I didn't actually watch football. My life would be a lot easier if I didn't. I'd have a lot less ups and downs in my mental state and everything if I didn't watch football. But yeah, I think football's just there to torture. I think our parents probably got tortured and think, yeah, go on, I'll torture him as well. I'll take my little one to football. That'll ruin his life. Like my dad with me and your dad probably did with you. Yeah, I know, that is quite amazing, isn't it? They are, but it kind of, just looking ahead, Trust Fleetwood to start finding form. He all thinks it's standard Blackpool to give Charlie a win. I hope not, but I am. I kind of, it's weird with Fleetwood because I don't I want them to go down, just because the rivals, and I'm sick of playing them, and I hate playing them, and I hate playing derbies against them. I never feels like a derby. I just don't enjoy it at all, and it frustrates me. But so I'd love them to go down, but I'd also like, kind of in my mind, I wouldn't mind Charlie Adam coming back as manager, and I know he wants. I know he's trying for the job, but he's no experience. But if he can prove himself as a manager, I think Charlie Adam would be a manager. I would definitely be, because he knows how Holloway played. He knows Blackpool. He knows the crowd. He knows what excites us. He knows everything. He was there, wasn't he? To all the glory, and he knows it. And I think he'd be a great manager. So I hope he does a good job at Fleetwood and proves it he's a good manager. But I don't want him to do too good a job. It's like one of those things where I don't want Charlie to succeed. I mean, it would be amazing if he gets them out of it. But I mean, they are playing better football. There's no doubt about it. I was looking at their stats on the Tuesday night. They had about 20 shots, hadn't they? We'd had none against Leighton Orient, and Fleetwood had 20, and they were robbed. Really, the penalty decision was terrible against them, and they're going to smash, 4-2. I thought that was a tough game for them, to be honest, but no. They are turning around. So, yeah, they're just coming to form and just in time to play us, aren't they? Right, so those are our last 3 games, are they? Carlisle away, Barnsley home, and Reading away. Well, Barnsley's the tricky one in that one. Reading look like they are getting themselves safe, so I think they'll just be kind of mid-table, and they're all a bit down there. So that could be all right. And Carlisle will be relegated by then. So, I'd be looking for 2 wins out of those 3. I think if it was me, I think that's possible. Yeah, Stephen Huntley says, how many people have actually listened to the Simon Sadler interview? Were you impressed? Did you like what he had to say? Are you happy that, Critch? I think with football, you've got to try and get some stability. You know what I mean? You can't keep sacking managers and getting rid of managers and trying new managers. And I know that Simon Sadler believes in Critch like Jane and I did, but believed in the first time round. I was devastated when he left in the summer, and it really relegated us. It did. Him leaving relegated us, and I just saw a future with Critch. I saw a development, a way that we were going to improve everything around, and if he's got the backing of of the owner and stuff, and it's not one of those backings that ends up being sacked in the morning, but you can only sack him at the moment. 3 wins out of 4. I mean, we're all complaining. I think I said on the last stream that I know a guy who's a Wigan DJ friend of mine does all the PA and stuff at Wigan, and he just said, God, you've got a really good manager there in Critch, and that's people from the outside think we've got a really good manager, and yet I think too many people just can't let go of the fact he left, and it's a shame. I think it's a shame. And it doesn't help him, being on him all the time and giving him abuse at matches, because that doesn't help. It doesn't help, does it? It wouldn't help me, if somebody was in here shouting at me all the time, "You're absolutely useless. This is terrible. This is the worst live stream I've ever watched in my life. Get off, you clown." I've had all that coming in. How can you, you can't carry on. It's just mentally very tough, and I don't think that helps. I just don't think it helps. I just wish we'd stop doing it. Let's just get behind the team and be Blackpool fans like we are. I mean, for those too young to remember what we did to get Blackpool into the Premier League and how loud we were, it was unbelievable. I go back to it. The playoff final in 2006 with Morell and Parker, the semi-final against Oldham at home. Dad and I are coming out, after the game, after we've won. It was unbelievable. And there's some Sky crew, are just sorting wires out. There's all like wires running down the side of the stand, and we're coming out. And my dad just said, as we're passing, because he saw, he said, "Oh, what do you think of that then?" And he said, honestly, he said, "Trust me, we have been to like everywhere this season. With Sky, we've done the sound everywhere. We've been at Liverpool everywhere." He said, "We've never heard anything like this." He said, "We can't figure out why it is so loud." And they were trying to think maybe it's because that end bounces it back or something, but they'd never heard anything as loud as they had that day when Blackpool played Oldham in that semi-final at Bloomfield Road. And it was unbelievable. And that's how we were, and that's how we need to be. We need to be that. If we want to get into the playoffs, it's down to the team, but we are the 12th man, and we've got to be the 12th man. We have. And no more of these stupid songs that just demotivate everybody. I hate that. How shitty must you be? I just hate it. It's the worst song ever. And while we've copied it off somebody, it's just all it does is put your own team down. Michael Haig is here. How do you, Michael? How are you? Stephen Roberts says, if we get to the playoffs right now, who would you take in the semis? My personal choice, Oxford and Bolton in the final. That'd be a right ding-dong game. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? I don't want Stevenage, because they just seem to be able to beat us with a terrible football. No, I wasn't there yesterday, Michael. No, I was not there. We're saving money. I'm working and stuff, trying to make some money. We can't afford to go this season. There's not a lot of point really going. People don't watch the videos in League One like they were watching them in Championship. So I'm not particularly motivated like I was. It's kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. The relegation, it's affected everything I do, and I keep thinking, why on earth do I do this? To be honest to myself. Stephen Roberts says, I listened to the interview. You can feel he loves Blackpool. It hurt him last season. Yeah, it hurt all of us. He answered the question as well as Ray didn't hold back, especially on finances. Well, what did he say? I still haven't had a chance to listen to it. So what did he say about finances? Because I'm sick of hearing certain people keep telling me that he's sitting on 25 million somehow out the club, and I'm like, you're having a laugh. They're just putting money in all the time. Right. The next three matches will be interesting. Home, Wigan away, and Fleetwood home. Yeah, they are. It's another big 3 games, isn't it? Wigan got beat, didn't they? They are beatable, and Fleet was the one in it with Charlie Adam coming back. It's the one. Actually, they're all quite difficult games. Then I'd be happy with 2 out of 3 with those, I think. Harry Liscott said, who is your favourite player at the minute and why? Well, my favourite player is Jordan Gabriel. I just think he's just a class above us, to be honest. I think he should be playing higher than he's definitely a champ. He's like the Championship player in the squad. I just hope he stays fit because he really is my favourite player. I'm really we like the look of this Coulson. Jane like straight away liked him, and of course, as I said, I've chatted with his dad on email and stuff. So, I was looking out for him, but I thought he was tremendous yesterday. In fact, he was doing everything down that the left wing that CJ just wasn't doing down the right. He just actually read Mitch Cook's left foot. I don't know if you read that blog, but do read his blogs. They're fantastic, and they make you laugh even when things are bad, and they kind of really cheer you up. His humour is really funny and always has me laughing, and it's great. And he was saying that CJ looked like he had he was wearing the boxes that the boots came in, not the actual boots, just to say, because it just wasn't a good game for CJ yesterday, was it? I mean, I like CJ. He's one of my favourite players, but yesterday, CJ, honestly, if you're watching this, what were you doing yesterday? He just wasn't going in for anything. The game just passed him by. He just like, if there was half a chance, he wouldn't go in. It was just weird. And it's not like him. He's, I normally think he does get stuck in. I don't know whether his confidence has gone a little bit. He's a confidence player, and I don't know if you read social media, but when we were all singing his name, ole, 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 it just lifted him. So lift him. Don't be, God, I don't know how many times I can say, if you're watching this stream, if you're watching it now live, you're watching this on the rerun, and I'm telling you, stop getting on players' backs and cheer them on. Sing the CJ song and he'll perform better. You know what I mean? They all respond to love. Let's get a Jimmy Husband song. Let's get one for him. I mean, God, he's playing with bleeding toes and everything. Oh, God, I don't know how he does it after. Have you seen the videos he has when his socks just in blood? So, he gives everything, Jimmy Husband. These players, I don't know. We just need to be us. We need to be Blackpool fans and stop moaning and stop, complaining all the time and just do our jobs and just cheer them on. We can do anything. When we cheer Blackpool on, in my mind, we can do anything. We can get them however we want to go. And it's so much down to us to be that force in the ground and, away from home, I suppose, as well. We do need Oxford and Stevenage to get bad results, and it can happen. You never know what can happen. They get an injury to an important player. They can lose a bit of confidence. They can have a bit of an upset. Anything can happen. Men sent off. Anything can happen. Football at the end of the day, it's just, it is what it is. Yeah, he didn't really, did he? Yeah. Critch at the end of the Bolton game, he didn't know where to go to fans at final whistle. It shouldn't be like that. No, I mean, they did cheer him back, didn't they? And there was something very special. I know people go on about this fist pump thing, but there was a synergy between the fans and Critchley in that in that first championship season, which, you know, I hot batched it loads of times. There's a Stoke vlogger who, a young lad at Stoke, and he vlogged that game, and he was at the end filming the Blackpool fans, and he filmed the fist pump, and there was, I mean, did we take about nearly 2,000 there? And it was so loud. Also, the Fulham one as well. He kind of saying the same thing with Fulham. We were so loud at Fulham, and when he did the fist pumps and everything, it was just, especially the Stoke lad, he said, look, you know, look at that manager, you know, there's fans that are so in tune with the manager. And I just felt so proud of us and our connection with the manager. And I know some will never, you know, allow themselves to be happy. But, you know, it is a wonderful thing when the club are together with the players, and, you know, we're together, the fans are together, everybody's behind everything. It makes such a difference, and we need to get that. If we're gonna, you know, if we don't, then, you know, it's not totally us to blame, but we're part of it if we don't make it, because we're just too negative, and we need to be positive. I know, it's the way he left. What? I know what you're saying about the way he left, but somebody came in, Steven Gerrard came in. His good friend of Critch and said, how do you fancy about, I don't know, earning about 4 times more? I don't know how much he got paid when he went to Villa, and come and be my number 2 and come and learn the Premier League. It'd be hard to turn down, wouldn't it? Especially after losing 5-0 away at Peterborough in the last game of the season. You know, and then he'll have been subject to all sorts of things where he wasn't allowed to say anything once he signed. So there'll have been NDAs and all sorts of things. So could he say goodbye? And if he'd have said goodbye, the timing of it was wrong. But it wasn't Critch that went after. He was poached. You know, he didn't go looking to leave Blackpool. He got poached with a much better offer, and then it all didn't work out for him. But I can't hate him for the way he left. Really, you know, he just got poached. It's one of the things as a football fan you kind of get used to over the years, losing your best players. You know, if you have a good manager, everybody wants to bloody poach him, don't they? You know, it's always the same. It's weird football, because if you're doing crap and you take your team's crap, you know, nobody wants any of your players. But when you're doing well, then that's when the Wolves come in and they want your players, and that's why it's really hard to get out of these situations, because you get these diamonds and then they get stolen off you, like managers and players. It's just football. Stephen Roberts says, totally agree. Years ago, you could hear the stadium on Whitegate Drive. It's not quite now. It's just not loud. Back then, ears would. Yeah, no, it's just not as. We've lost our mojo, and that's because of the Appleton thing. And I just think, you know, we have lost our mojo a bit. We're not as loud as we were, and we need to bring it. Mick Harrison is here. Mick McCarthy once brought his Wolves side to Blackpool. He said the 11,000 crowd sounded like 30,000 at Bloomfield Road. We're so proud. Fans just need to be proud on the pitch. Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword. You know, we can make them do well on the pitch if we are what we are. You know what I mean? We have to be us. And you know, everybody know. Anybody who was going to Blackpool matches from 2000, well, even before that, really. But you know, that decade there, Blackpool. You know, that block queue. And the old stand was just so bloody loud. It really was. You know, never mind Mick McCarthy. You remember when who was it we played? Hartlepool, yeah, came, and that would be Chris Kamara, wasn't it? Was it Chris Kamara, manager of Hartlepool then? And he said that, like, you know, the noise was so loud. We only had half a stadium, didn't we? But God, it was. I think that game, that semi-final against Hartlepool, that first leg was the loudest I've ever heard. It literally was ripping your eardrums out. It was ridiculously loud, and that was in the old wooden stand. It was just so loud. CJ's on the beach already, says Mick. Ian Drinnan says it's great to see Rhodes back. It certainly is great to see Rhodes back. Yeah, well, let's hope we do. Actually, we need to beat the Cods, don't we? Charlie Adam makes Noel. That's very straight. Charlie Adam makes no difference. You're saying We're saying he's not made any difference to Fleetwood, or the fact that it's Charlie Adam and we should just beat them anyway. Is that what you mean? Don't give Charlie Adam anything. No, I mean, Charlie Adam has made a massive amount of difference to Fleetwood. He's gotten playing well, so we'll see how much better they are when they come to play us here. But yeah, he's to say they were all slagging him off and jeering him at the start, he's certainly turning it around. I bet they're not now. Coolio guy play says, I'm confident for a win against the next three. Beat Portsmouth 4-0 away, Wigan 4-1. Draw to Fleetwood in the 89th minute. Yeah, was that how it went the last time? So we beat Portsmouth 4-0, Wigan 4-1, and drew to Fleetwood. Yeah. It should do, but past performance is no indicator. There's no indicator to future. Camerson says we get great plaudits all over the place. A Coventry vlogger rates our fans very highly. When we just tables on it, we're up with the big City fans for it. I actually think we're better than them. We are at home. Bloomfield Road is like no other ground. I mean, there was nowhere in the Championship, and the Premier League is probably even less noise, to be honest. There's not many. United can make a lot of noise, and they sing a lot. I remember when we went to watch this play Aston Villa, the game where we got fined. Holloway got fined for putting out a bloody weakened team. Absolute joke. We bloody battered Villa. Anybody who's there knows we battered Villa. And those players that came in on that game, like Matty Phillips played his first game there, and they became regulars in the team. So we got fined for putting out a weakened team who actually was a bloody good team, and we should have won. And Villa was like, honestly, until they scored the winner in as late on as they did, you never heard that whole end. You couldn't hear a thing. Honestly, they were you could hear a bloody pin drop. And I've been to loads of these grounds, last season and the season before in the Championship, and none of them make a noise. I mean, Nottingham Forest is loud when they sing "City of Mine," but that's it. It's only that sort of roar you get, like roaring the team on, but they're not actually singing songs. I mean, Sunderland were the same. They hardly had a song. They were just loud when they were going forward. You know what I mean? You could hear the roar as they kind of roared them on, but they weren't singing like mental like we are the whole game. Like sometimes we can just never stop, do we? We just actually never stop. It just goes all the time. You don't go to any ground, certainly not in the Championship, certainly not in League One, where the home crowd never stops singing like the whole way through. It's just not a thing. Michael Haig says, moving forward, Lee, as a club, which I love as much as you, I personally do not think that Sadler in the long run with a dream owner. What are your thoughts? Well, depends on how you define dream owner. If your dream owner is some billionaire from Saudi Arabia with more bloody oil money to spend than losing 10 million is like losing 10p to us. He's not that dream owner. No, he's not. If that's what you want and you want somebody like that, then Simon Sadler is not that man. Is he a Blackpool fan? Yes, he is. Is he putting money in? Yes, he is. Is he getting everything right? No, he's not, because he's never owned a football club before. And just like me, I've said this before, if I'd have won the Euro Millions and said, I'll tell you what, Jane, should we buy Blackpool? 10 million, we've got 150 million, let's do it. Yeah, it wouldn't be long before I'll be thinking, I don't think 150 million is going to last very long. We've got a 25 million stand to build. We've got a 25 million training ground. Well, it was when I originally started, it was about, I don't know, 30 million. Now we're up to 50 million. And these players' wages are just like ridiculous. And I'm losing money on our face. You'd be thinking, if I stay here much longer, I'm not going to have any of this 160 million left. We're going to be bankrupt. Honestly, this club doesn't make money. So is he the dream owner? Yeah, I think he's about the best we can do without getting some bloody multi. I don't like Ryan Reynolds, to be honest. And Rob McElhenney, I would have liked. I think they'd have fitted Blackpool better than they fit Wrexham, to be honest. I know Blackpool's more, I don't know, it's just more of a entertainment town, isn't it? And they would have fitted in right here. I would have loved them to have been the manager. It would have been the owners. I think it would have been great. I think the problem any owner has coming into Blackpool is, they're following the bloody Oystons, aren't they? They're following the Oystons and how much we hated those owners, and we can't seem to get the hate out of us towards owners. We can't do it. We're so full of, we've so been in a war. It's like we almost suffer from PTSD. We've been in a war that long that we just have to keep being in a war. We can't not live our lives without being in a war. We can't just calm down and just let things happen. I'm as guilty as everybody else of getting really frustrated with it and upset. And, I've said to Jane, sometimes I just feel like packing this in. I think, why am I doing this? Bloody following Blackpool. They just let me down all the time. I've really had enough. And it's only you guys, keeping me going, really, with words of encouragement. I've spoken to loads of people. I've just felt like walking away from it, thinking I'm just wasting all this time on this club that's let me down all the time, and rumour videos. No matter how good a video I make either, I can make the best football vlogging video ever, but if we lose, nobody watches it, and it's really frustrating. You get this thing from YouTube that actually says, if your videos had a bit of success, so it's done a bit better. So at the Bolton ones suddenly had like 2,000 more views than I was getting. And it'll say to me, oh, this video's done really, really well. Just have a look at the video and try and work out what it is about this video that's done better than your other videos recently. And I think, yeah, I know what. I don't need to look. We've just beat Bolton 4-2. More people are going to watch it, you know what I mean, than a 0-0. So it doesn't matter how good the videos I make. It's down to Blackpool to help me. And it's really tough. But yeah, in answer to your question, I still like Simon Sadler a lot. Yeah, I like him. I think things frustrate me because I kind of know that when he took over the club and he bought the club, he knew what needed doing. So he knew that a stand had to be done. He was well aware that the East stand has to be done. When he bought the club, he knew that was a thing. And as a Blackpool fan, he would know that the training ground needed sorting out. He will have known that. He can't say he didn't know it coming in blind, because he knew all that needed doing. And if he didn't have the money to do that and lose money on the football club as well, because he'll have, I don't know if he could even look at the accounts, but he'll know full well with crowds of 10,000, 11,000, you're really struggling against clubs that have 20, 30,000 fans, and the money's different. So he went into it with his eyes open and did his due diligence and all the rest of it. So I just couldn't understand why he was like, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do it. Okay, the building costs went up, and that will have been a surprise to him, but he had to do all of the three things, which was build a stand, build a new training ground, to improve the academy and to improve the facilities, and so we don't get as many. So all that had to be done, but that had to be done with the football as well. So he had to be, concentrating on his main focus had to be the football, getting that right, and making sure that he got the good players in and whatever you need to do, and sign good players. But he also had to do the stand. He's always had to do that from the start. So to start saying, oh, well, I can't really, when he said, obviously I've got to do the stand, I've got to do the training ground, so I haven't got the funds to. I'm like, well, why did you buy in then? If you didn't have the money to do it all, or it was just a bit too much for you and you couldn't, that was the only thing that frustrated me. But apart from that, I like him. I still like him. I think he's all right. I think he's a decent bloke, with a good heart. He's not charismatic. He's awkward on camera and he's shy, or whatever he is. he's not a showman, but we've had one of them, haven't we? And he was a nightmare. But I would have liked somebody with a bit more pizzazz, like Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. I would have liked. Yeah, they are. They are the one. They are the. They have the one song, don't they, Forrest? They really just have that one song, "City of Mine," and they go, and it is loud. My God, when they sing that, it is loud. But that's it. That's it. They might sing, "Come on, you," whatever, the Reds or whatever. But they don't. Nobody has songs like. But no, Coventry were pretty decent. But even they didn't sing the whole, I mean, Blackpool can literally bounce, for 90 minutes if it's really good. It can bounce for 90 minutes. If Blackpool are doing things and winning and stuff, it just, you think how loud it was when we were trying to get out of the, when we were singing the Great Escape song and everything. It was absolutely buzzing that night. That night we won it. We beat QPR. It was sad we went down, really. Yeah, that's coming, isn't it? If we don't get out of this league, it's going to be Blackpool versus Wrexham next season, and it'll be tough. But they've got ways of putting money into the club, haven't they? They have ways of doing things to raise funds to go into the club, which no other sort of person with their kind of money can do, because they can just do adverts and stuff, can't they? People, which is income coming into the club, isn't it? Because they're doing it for Wrexham. It's very clever what they've got there. If they want to raise a few million, they just, Ryan Reynolds can do an advert, can't he? And he's brilliant, isn't he? He's famous. So any company in the world would have him, as heading their brand, wouldn't they? Because he's so famous. So it's a unique situation. Army Carson, well, he won't. I know you won't like Simon. Sadler isn't the owner we need. There's no doubt, and he's not a proper Blackpool fan, no Pool fan. While I was in the Championship, would have been gifted 4 million Josh Bowler and bought nobody. Yeah, but he still lost loads of money. So, and it's all right saying these things as like the gospel truth. Like, okay, we got 4 million for Josh Bowler on the very last minute of the very last day of the transfer window. Did he expect he would go? I don't know. We don't, the trouble is, I'm sorry, I'm going to say to you, mate, you say a lot of things that you believe are concrete gospel proof, and yet you have no proof. You never have any proof, but you talk about it as if it's absolutely true that Simon Sadler didn't get a player in and he got 4 million for how you don't even know if we got 4 million. I haven't got a clue how much we got for Josh Bowler. It's always undisclosed. So we don't know how much we got for Josh Bowler. Did we get it all in one lump sum, or did we get it? I don't know. And when did they know that Josh Bowler was going to go? Because I spoke to Josh Bowler the day before the transfer window ended, and he was staying. In the video, I sat with him, and he was happy to stay. He was staying. So what happened in that last 24 hours? And what could Blackpool do to react to that at that moment? I don't know. We don't know. It's not gospel. It's just not. It's your gospel because you believe it. But that doesn't mean it's true. I don't know. You could be absolutely right, but until you show me absolute proof that you were in the room with Simon Sadler when Josh Bowler you were a fly on the wall or whatever, or you had a secret microphone on the desk or something of the CIA, and you knew exactly what went on, because nobody knows. There's not one Blackpool fan knows what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know. We just read stuff on A View from the Tower all the time. That's half the time it can be Preston fans on the wind up, and everybody gets wound up about some ridiculous thing that some knob has said, and we all they believe it on there, and then it becomes gospel. I don't know, but at the moment he's the only owner we've got. He's the only owner we've got. We haven't got another one waiting in the wings to take over for him. He's the guy we've got, and we've got to be behind them. I hated Carl Oyston. I hated him, but I still got behind the team. I didn't let that hate not get us in the Premier League. I didn't think, I don't want to get Blackpool in the Premier League because the Oysters going to steal all this money off us and we're never going to see it. I wanted us in the Premier League. I wanted us to do it in my lifetime. I wanted to do it with my dad, and I couldn't care less. Fuck him. Our job is to support the team and cheer them on, and that's it. And if we're not doing that, and we're getting all our heads twisted in all the shit we read on forums and all the rest of it, then we're just stupid, because we are what matters. We are what matters. Blackpool fans are so good, and we have to be. If we want to, if you want to get up, you want to get in them playoffs, you've got to cheer them on. You can't be the way we are, or else we won't do it. And then, we'll be blaming everybody, but we also have to blame ourselves for not just being supporters of the team. You know what I mean? That's our job. That's what we do. That's what we go and we're good at. That's what we're good at. That's our USP. That is Blackpool football fans. Not slagging everything off all the time and knocking everything and complaining about everything and moaning about everything. We get behind the team. Well, he hasn't done it yet. No, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done the stand. He hasn't done the training facility, but it is going to be done. I believe it. The house is going to be knocked down soon on Henry Street. They're not being knocked down. They're not all boarded up and if you go up down Henry Street, there's all big boards up on certain houses. They've been repossessed by the council. It is happening. So if you don't see that, if you don't see, if you cannot see like the I don't know whether you've ever walked down there, but if you walk down there, houses have been repossessed and there's more going through, and all that lot's going to come down, and it's going to come down first. It's not coming down just because the council decided it was a good plan. They've got plans for all that corner and the stand and all that football, whatever they're doing there is all part of the regeneration of that Revo area, and that is going to happen. Things don't happen. Honestly, they don't. Councils and planning committees and all the rest of it. It's a nightmare, honestly. And there's always somebody, opposing something. My mate is a planner. He was working on the wind farms down in Norwich. He was, dealing with all these farmers and trying to get this cable through farmland. They've been at it for 20 bloody years. Honestly, people can make life really hard. They refuse to move. They refuse to. It's just not. If it was just that simple, if everything was just black and white, you just say, right, I'm going to build a stand, and I'll submit these plans into the council. 3 months, they'll have agreed it, and we'll start building. Honestly, if you ask Simon Sadler, he'd be saying it's not bloody possible. It's so hard. There's problems about this. They'll find some bloody rare grasshoppers or something. They'll live on bloody Henry Street that you won't be able to build a stand on. There's always something. So I don't know, but it's going to happen. Training ground has to happen, because if it doesn't happen, then we're just never going to move forward as a club, and he'll know that as much as anybody else. He's not daft. He knows he needs a Category A academy if he's ever going to really make the academy work and really make money out of selling players on and finding young players. And you've got to have that kind of academy, and you've got to have those sort of facilities. It's just got to happen. So he's not daft, but he is spending all his own money on it all. So it's like, I don't know how much money he's got. I know he has a $1 billion hedge fund or whatever, but that doesn't mean he's a billionaire. So I don't know how much money he's got. Never says how much, never says anywhere. I haven't got a clue, but I don't think he's a billionaire by any stretch of the imagination. He's got more money than you and I, let's put it that way. But well, did he or didn't he? I don't know. The proof is what? The proof is he didn't buy a player to try and keep us up, and we got Bowler free off Everton. Well, yeah, we can pick up players for free, but just because we got Bowler for free and we sold him for 4 million, if you look at the accounts, we lost money. We lost money. He put 5 million in that year. So what he might not be paying in transfer fees, he's probably paying in more money in wages than we've ever paid. We're probably paying, we're probably up there with really high wages, to compete with teams that have come down with parachute payments. Don't forget, they come down with parachute payments from the Premier League. So they've all just got 150 million for being in the Premier League and got the parachute payments when they come out of it. So I don't know how much it is every year now. And we've got Simon Sadler and whatever he can generate by by being smart as he can be. You know, he does things to try and increase the revenue. So he's got Martin Booker on side getting like loads of sponsorship deals. He's got, he's built a Moretti lounge. He's built the Heineken lounge, and he's improved all of the boxes, all the private boxes. He spent £1 million on the training ground that we've got, putting in like big, not porta cabins, but like modular buildings there. So he's done loads of work, and he spent loads of money, and he's got more people in who are, I don't know, sports nutritionists, physios. He's brought in all these different guys, like, you know, we haven't like Ben Mansford, but all these people need paying wages. There's a much bigger staff. He's paying bigger wages on players, and maybe he just can't compete with teams that have just had £150 million. And it's as I say, it's always just black and white, but it ain't until you've actually been Simon Sadler and fighting all the fires that he's trying to fight. I mean, a friend of mine came in as the accountant for Blackpool when the interim board were in, and you know, they basically recommended that Bluefield Road really would be cheaper to knock down and rebuild than keep repairing all the stuff you have to repair on it all the time. It is a nightmare. Honestly, it's any football stadium is like, it is a money pit anyway. It really is. Maintaining a football stadium is a money pit. And he was saying to me, you know, that they did recommend to the interim board that the best solution was to knock it all down and rebuild it, because, you know, you can't jet wash. Just one thing, you can't jet wash the seats because it just goes through like to all the offices and everything behind. You just can't power wash anything. There's loads of things. Honestly, the money you'll spend on stadium maintenance, just looking after the rust, you know. And it's always going to come back. And that's not Simon Sadler's fault. That's the bloody Oysters building it, you know, not with anodized steel, for, you know, by the seaside. So everything just bloody rusts all the time, doesn't it? You know, the whole thing, it's, you know, it's not that easy. Simon says, I don't get back to the comments. Yeah, I don't like Simon's. Right. I don't like Simon's policy on releasing and buying and announcing undisclosed fee. That's why gossip flies around. It should be honest with what's spent, then it shuts the back gate gossips. I know. I kind of know. There's got to be a reason why they don't. I think if you start blabbing about. See, the trouble is, and I know probably why the reason is, if you say, for instance, we did get 4 million for Bowler. Well, I tell you what, like, 4 million is cheap. I've heard it was 6, right? So it could be 6, could be 4. Well, let's just say it was 6 million for Bowler. Well, if we get 6 million in, then every other club who's selling, who we're looking to buy a player off, knows we've got 6 million. And they'll be thinking, right, well, if they've got 6 million, well, we want, you know, 2 million for somebody. And it's to kind of prevent other clubs knowing what money you have. I think that's what it is, so they don't all up the prices and make it harder for you to buy. That would be the reason why I would think it's all undisclosed free. But there's not many clubs who do this undisclosed fee other than us, is there? Right, we're coming up to nearly an hour. I'm going to try and get through these comments very quickly before we finish off. Mick Harrison says, I'm behind my team all the way, apart from being there, singing my heart out. I spent 1,070 quid on tickets this season, 40 quid on home match, and by the council's already given permission for the East. Well, they have, but there's been some other thing, hasn't there? But they can't start building the East until those houses have gone. And those houses have to be repossessed. They can't start building anything until those are down. So when we start seeing, you know, bulldozers going in and whatever to smash those houses up and take them down, then we know if something's going to happen. But for now, they can't start it, can they, until that bit's done, and all that takes time. Compulsory purchases, council, you know, it all takes time, and everybody who's earning money out of these things, from solicitors to councillors to whoever, are all earning money while they're doing this, and they're all spin things out because that's just the way of the world. Nicholas Hindle says, Owen Oyston was on my flight the other night from Malaga to Manchester. I'd forgotten how much I hate him. We're so lucky not to have them now. God, we are. We forget. I think people forget. I think people just forget. They were horrible. I mean, I know it's come up again on A View from the Tower. I watched it the other day, the Afro Man and Raggy against the Oystons. Yeah, oh God. The stuff that went on there. It's if you haven't watched it, it's well worth it. Blackpool FC says, are you worried if we don't get promotion? No more Rose, Coulson, Byers, Dembele. Well, yeah, but I've watched Blackpool for 4 years, and we lose players. We lose players, and we get new ones, and we get new heroes, and that's just how football is. A club of our size, well, any club, players are always in and out. No club keeps the same players year in, year out. Some players do stay for a lifetime, for a whole career, but there's not many of them nowadays. Jimmy Armfield is the only one that's ever been I think Jimmy Armfield is our only one team player. So players go. Gonna lose. If we lose them, there'll be somebody else. There's always somebody else. So I don't worry about it. Would I like us to get promoted so we kept them all? God, would I. So let's sing and be loud. Yeah, but again, how do we know this? How do these people? We've been the lowest spenders on the team with leagues that people have done. Who are these people? Who are these people that know how much we spend? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's every time. It's an undisclosed fee. Nobody knows. Whatever fee you say we got for Bowler, that's something you've read on A View from the Tower, because nobody knows. They do not let anybody know. It is all kept secretly, everything we do. So any figure that you want to post, any person's opinion on us, whoever these people are, don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I can't make it any clearer than that. Nobody knows. So I don't know who the people are that are doing these polls or doing these things and how much Blackpool spend, but they don't know. They just don't know. Only Simon Sedler knows. Well, yeah, that's what they said. It needs so much money spending on it annually just to keep it from going to rack and ruin, basically. They reckon it will be cheaper to just knock it all down and restart again rather than keep patching and making do. So he spends a lot of money on stadium, he spent a lot of money on getting that pitch right, and it's still not right, but it's a million times better than what it was under, when you see the pictures of us where we were playing on a sandy beach, basically, and we were singing "We're Blackpool FC, we play on the beach." That was horrendous, horrific. So it's come a long way since then. It's still, to me, has problems, that pitch, but that's probably because of the stadium, the light not getting in, and you can put those see-through panels in, but it's just obviously millions and millions and millions to do that. It's just a massive job. So he can't do everything, can he? He's only got so much. He's not a billion. He's not Abu Dhabi, is he? He's not, one of those consortiums, is he, where he's just got billions to throw at it. It doesn't matter, If the owners of Man City had bought us, we wouldn't have these problems, would we? We'd be in the Premier League, because the money is just, it's never ending, is it? The Emirates group. I mean, it's just never ending. They can just, doesn't matter how much they spend. They can spend 200 million this year. They can lose 200 million. It's just like, it doesn't even register. They make more interest than that. Good evening, Eugene. We're about to go. No, they haven't all been. Well, they're in the process, aren't they? They're in the process. They're close to getting them all built, but people will hold out, and solicitors get involved, and it's all just everybody wants to, and you would if you were living in one of those houses and they wanted you to move to somewhere else, and you had to get removals and move all your stuff, and maybe your kids are in the school. There's a lot of factors in moving house, and maybe some of the people in Back Henry Street and some of the businesses behind Back Henry Street didn't want to move, and therefore, they will do everything they can to get the maximum amount of money they can, so they can continue maybe living in a nicer house and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of you can't just say, right, okay, we're coming in, we're demolishing Henry Street, and it just happens. It's it'll all go. The other side will go as well for all this sports village, won't it, in the end? But it's just having dealt with solicitors with the GMR, all solicitors do is write letters, basically. They like writing letters and charging you for letters, and it just goes on and on. People can delay things on and on. It is just how it is. Who's a joke? Who's a joke? I don't know if they're a joke. They are a joke. Right. I don't know who that is. Anyway, finish it off just by saying that we've won 3 out of 4. It's not the end of the world at the moment. Can we make the playoffs? I think we can if we get on a run. I think we can if we help as well. I think the fans have got to help and just get that confidence in the team. Jordan Rhodes is back. That makes a big difference to everything. Him being back, it's got to lift the side. And you never know. Like I said before, as a Blackpool fan, it never looks like you're getting in the playoffs until about 2 or 3 weeks before. Then you think, oh, we've got a chance here. And we always kind of sneak in, don't we? So who knows? Darren Ferguson said, don't write Blackpool off, didn't he? So don't write us off yet. But this month is going to be a real telling month. Like we've already discussed, there's some big games coming up. Fleetwood, we're now starting to play well, which is unbelievable, isn't it? We couldn't be playing them at home when they were bloody awful a month ago. Sometimes football is affected by the timing of when you play teams. You can be playing a team that's just got a new manager, and we've had that, haven't we? You can, like Fleetwood now are just a totally different team than they were a month ago, because Charlie Adams done some magic and they're starting to play with more confidence, and they won't be as easy as they were. But if Blackpool play the way that we can play, we can beat anybody in this league. When we're on it, I think we're the best team in the league. And that's my final thoughts on it. I think we are the best team in the league, but it's just whether that best team turns up. That's my final thoughts for it. So thanks a lot for joining me. I'm going to get off, going to have some tea. I've got to go to work and everything else, but I feel a lot happier than I did after the midweek match against Leyton Orient. Shame for Lions, really, that that it looks like that's a really bad injury, but we haven't heard anything yet. I hope it's not going to be too bad. It did look quite serious. All I can say is go on Saturday, be loud, be proud, be Blackpool, and let's roar them on, and let's make it so loud that we can't hear that bloody bell. That's the one thing I'm dreading, that bloody bell. And it's you won't hear it in the north, but in the south. So the south needs to be loud. So we drown that bloody bell out. It is a pain. It really is. Right. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the stream, by the way, you can always, there we are, look at that. Buy me a coffee. Treat me to a coffee if you enjoy these sort of things. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to get off. See you. I'll be at Bloomfield on Saturday, so seek me out. You know where Jane and I stand. We're in front of the arcade club. If you want to be on the video, if you want to have your voice heard on the video, I'm there. I want, fans' reactions before the game. So I'd even like to do some after the game, to be honest, but rather than just have everybody streaming out, and just try and get a proper place where I can interview fans. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching this, I know you stay to the end, but yeah, if you think me having a sort of a place where I stand, where you can come and give your thoughts after the game, I'd like to get that more than, it's all right, everybody streaming past, but it's chaotic, and I can't, I'm trying to talk to people, and so I'd just like somewhere, maybe I could stand somewhere where people knew to come over to me and just give me their initial thoughts on the match. I think that would be really good. Let me know if you think that's a great idea. I was supposed to be having a guest in today on the stream, but he's not turned up anyway. So, but thanks a lot for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.